AI is going to take over game development, right? We keep hearing that. Why do we keep hearing that? Well, let's listen in to two people who keep pushing this narrative forward. On this side is probably the worst CEO in game development, Joseph Kim. And on this side is probably the worst consultant in game development, Mikhail Katkov. So they're both AI. So let's listen in here on Joseph Kim.
You do enjoy writing as well. I love.
I don't really write
podcasts.
much anymore. Like most of my stuff's AI. So.
Well, okay. I understand that, but you still go through it. You edit. It is your thoughts. You just make it faster with AI.
I prompt. Yeah.
Your newsletter is prompted with AI?
Yeah. I think it's gotten to a point where it's quite good. So I actually read it. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I'm reading my own newsletter as a new reader.
To be clear, that's a newsletter that he sends out to 20,000 people. All of his accounts have these nice round numbers. Like if you bought users, I don't know, maybe not, right? But they also have no activity on them. So his 20,000 person newsletter is written by AI that it's new to him. Now I know, to the employees from India, they're going to come over here and let me know that that's not true because he takes this back later. I appreciate that. I do. Because what Joseph Kim here does is he runs a studio out of India. He wanted to exploit cheap labor. So he moved his entire life there. And I'll link to this podcast because the Deconstructor Fun people deleted it off of their account. But Joseph Kim left this up. Where he just admits that, first of all, that the Indian people aren't up for being exploited as much as he wishes. But it's so bad, he had to do an entire video where he counters Glassdoor reviews because he's asking people to work 6 days a week, 12-hour days. That's his AI. He's not using AI to develop in games. Of course not. Of course not. He thinks you should have pain and suffering to make games. He literally says that the only good things come out of is pain and suffering. So these are the people who are promoting AI, right? Oh, and by the way, how is his game going? Because he's not using AI, so it just must be going great, right? Because it must be flying. He's been working over 5.5 years on a mobile game in India, working people 6 days a week, 12-hour days, and he still has nothing to show. And he blames the employees. I don't know how much more exploitive and ugly human you could be, except when he says about how he doesn't talk to his wife anymore or his kids, and that's okay because he must suffer for his craft. It's also all these guys who never actually did the work, who don't know how to do the work, and they want to become consultants or do crap like this because they get to sit on the sidelines. Okay, hold on one sec. So the Deconstructor of Fun people are the people who, if you remember this one from Ethan Levy, where it was just going to be a prompt. All we're going to need is a prompt. And we all laughed at that, right? Because then everybody could do a prompt. Why would you buy a prompt from somebody else? And no, you can't just prompt it. Like, it's just whack. They also have the stupidest man in gaming, Philip Black, repeating that somehow the success of a small indie developer who didn't use AI proves AI. How? Who knows, right? Here's another recent one. These are different consultants now. So these consultants are talking about the Peak, with the controversy that's happening with Peak and Cliff, and they're claiming AI. Why? Well, because they're promoting AI, right? Here is their homepage. This is their thing, the Strategic Game Industry Advisory Firm. If there's ever been something written by AI, the strategic game industry. So are they just talking about strategy games? And their advisory firm. Why do they have a period on that? Shouldn't this be the game industry strategic advisory firm? Like, right, they prompt AI to do the thing that, like, when you load up their page, this is what they're the most proud of, and this is what they have. I won't link to their podcast videos because there's no users on them. They don't know how to build a community, partially because one of their popular videos starts with like a 10-minute talk about the best Lego set to put in your living room. If you like Legos, no offense, but like, I don't know if that's the most insightful game commentary that I know of. I don't know. But so why do all of these companies keep doing this? It's sadly really easy. They're not predictive. They don't understand how to make something good. So they can just talk about the past. Like the stupidest man in gaming from the Deconstructor Fun podcast just kept talking endlessly about games as a service, games as a service, games as a service. But now that games as a service is overwhelmingly a glut, what do they talk about, right? The Deconstructor Fun podcast also went on and on about Web3. They had an entire tract of their podcast, which I think is now deleted, of just promoting Web3 and how you had to get into Web3 because you were going to be left behind. If that was true, why aren't we all making Web3 games, and why isn't that the biggest podcast in the world if they were right? I'm going to ignore that, like, one of their claims for fame is one of the people works there, was a big consultant at WB, and I guess helped shut down Monolith. So if you have a well-known, beloved studio that needs to get shut down, they're your people. But these people just endlessly get to promote and tell you this is the future, this is what to do, and they don't have to pick up the pieces. They don't have to like live with the problems that they create, except for, that's the great thing about the Joseph Kim video and why you should watch it. Because this is pain and misery of a failure who just blames everybody else even now. He literally at one point is like, I don't want to have to say this, but man, this Indian labor I'm trying to exploit just isn't that exploitable. Truly the worst people in gaming.